What's up everybody, it's the Fire Specialist here, and welcome to more Pokemon Yellow. Last time, we took care of the Lavender Town Ghost Tower, and discovered the ghost at the top of the tower was indeed just a Marowak, the mother of the poor Cubone. And we also caught our 5th team member in Starmie, which has been leveled up now. It's funny, I've been working on this intro for like a day now, and I still stuttered during the middle of it. But today's episode, we're going to take the path less traveled, or in this case, the bike path less traveled. But before we do that though, I want to go ahead and get into our new Pokemon. This is Starmie. We caught it at the end of the last episode. It did start off with just Tackle, but I will show you one good thing about Starmie though. Well, a couple good things actually. It is what you would probably want to call a TM Sync. It does start off with just Tackle. At that level we call it that. Learn Water Gun a little bit later on. And it doesn't really learn that much more. I did go ahead and get it up to the level where it can learn Recover. It does also learn Harden, by the way, which I know that doesn't seem like much. Metapod gets it in Verdant Forest. But if you want to use the... I'm blanking on everything in this episode. If you want to use the badge boosting glitch, then you can use Harden to trigger that. But we don't want to do that because Starmie and its evolved form Starmie actually has a lot of diversity in its moves. As you see, we taught it Bubble Beam, we taught it Ice Beam, which are TMs we got from Misty and the girl that wants the drinks at the top of the Celadon department store. And we even gave it Psychic. You also will recall, we bought a Water Stone a little while back. Honestly, the only move we're really missing on it is Hydro Pump, but I'd rather have a more accurate move that we're going to be getting here pretty soon. So, Starmie is evolving. And you're about to also see why we gave it Psychic. Congratulations, Starmie evolved into Starmie. Go ahead and take a look at our newly evolved Starmie. It is now part Psychic type. This is incredible. I have shown off my personal Starmie evolution, Starnanimous, before in the channel. But unfortunately we get Mega Starmie, which is, I get the lore behind it, I do. But not what I was hoping for. But yeah, Starmie, Water Psychic type, has a good special, good speed stat, decent all the way around. We're going to use it today some. Also, if you have your Thunderbolt TM, it can still learn Thunderbolt too. So you can give it the classic Bolt Beam coverage of Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Psychic, a Water type move, Harden or Recover, Hydro Pump if you want to wait. So yeah, we have to, of course, wake up the Snorlax. This is, of course, the second and last Snorlax. We already caught one, so we're not going to worry too much about it. But we will go ahead and take it out and hopefully get some decent experience for it. Starmie will be quite good, actually, in the next bit of this game. And there we go. Take it out, get some experience. When the big yawn, Snorlax return to the mountains. We don't need to capture both of them unless you're, I guess, trading with someone else. You can keep one and trade one to someone else. But let's go up here, though. We're going riding together. I'm going for a ride with my girlfriend. Big pimpin'. A bicycle for two, as they say. Alright, and yeah, this is the bike path. You have to have your bicycle on this route if you want to go onto it. There is some grass and there is lots of trainers. We'll show off some of them. There are some pretty powerful Pokemon on this route. This is actually one of 2 routes in order to get to Fuchsia City. This is probably the shorter route though, in my opinion. It has some good trainers. I think there's likely more trainers on the other route. which I will skim over in a future video. It would be a big filler episode, and honestly be a long filler episode if we showed all those battles. So I will probably showcase the route at some point, show the items. Maybe I'll figure out something to talk about while we're there, because it's just a lot of filler. It's, I want to say 2 or 3 routes worth of filler. I already cleared the first route south of Lavender off screen, but along with the route combining Lavender with Saffron, so there's that. Plus we have another kind of dungeon we're going to be going to here soon as well. That's going to take us some time, that I would probably want to show more in full than the routes that are combining Lavender with Fuchsia. But yeah, you see there's a bunch of poison types and fighting types here. But now we actually have the powerful psychic type on our side. We don't have to use psychic for all of them. In fact, I'm not going to use psychic on all of them, because there are some stronger Pokemon I like to try a one-shot before they mess us up. And maybe we can get Starmie some experience. We can get Nidoking some experience here. Maybe even Pikachu. After all, after Erica, there's a bit of an awkward level jump. Funny enough. This guy, by the way, I don't know if it was a reference to Pikachu, but the fact that he says come on out and play Little Mouse, the fact that Pikachu follows you, I've always kind of thought that was a Pikachu reference. Probably not, but still. But yeah, there is a bit of an awkward level jump. So before we even go to our next, well, honestly, we can probably do the next gym battle right now. In fact, I probably will. Even though, we will be getting our last encounter here soon. That kind of, or our last team member, pretty soon, because this is kind of showing you how much the world opens up once you get cut. To go down these paths, all you have to do is get the Pokeflute, which you can do before Erica. You can fight, basically, Lieutenant Surge, Erica, and I guess Sabrina and Koga in any order, and you have to fight Blaine after Koga. So it's very interesting. If we ever do another Yellow Let's Play, which in my opinion, you know, I'll say this real quick, hold on. This is a Wheezing. You see, they're all Wheezing on this route, and I think they're the only one. So we'll fire off a Psychic. They're with 33. It's the same level as our Pikachu, actually. And it's not even a one-shot. Thankfully, it just knows Tackle. It's the curse of Generation 1 movesets. Thankfully, it didn't blow up, though. But, like I was saying, Pokemon Let's Plays, you can have a numerous amount of different teams and show off different stuff. After all, we'll eventually see another Water Psychic type in this game. There are 2 different Water Psychic types that we could use in this game. They're both good for separate reasons too. So, and you might think we're under-leveled. Keep in mind, this is a weird level gap here. Like, I see at this point we're on par. Once we hit the next gym, then you will see how the level jump is. It's just odd. The first 4 gyms are like scaling, and the last 4 gyms are like obnoxiously higher. In a more modern game, that would be kind of crazy. But the fact that, you know, we wanted open world for the longest time, and we got it finally with Scarlet and Violet. But kind of technically, Kanto is like half open world. I don't actually think Bulba's going to KO because Grammar has a good special stat. Yeah. Wheezing line is good for, oh, you know, I can talk about Wheezing though. That's the thing. And when I do videos where there's a bunch of these battles and stuff, I want to be able to talk about stuff as well. Just so it's not just a constant dead air. But on the topic of Wheezing, It's one of my favorite Generation 1 Pokemon throughout the later gens. I started using it in Gen 6 competitive, Gen 7 competitive. It got the Galarian form in Generation 8. And it was a one-trick pony. It was a Pokemon with Levitate defensively that could be immune to ground type attacks. It would burn, it would poison. Steel types could not counter it because it knew Fire Blast and Flamethrower. And in Generation 8, Galarian Weezing got Overheat. So it's really, I mean, its coverage is good too. We've seen people run Specs Weezing before with moves like Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, stuff like that. Even I think Misty Explosion could be a possibility for it too. But I want to see, and I know we got Galarian Weezing, but I want to see Weezing evolve for multiple reasons. I honestly kind of feel like, oh, also right here, I'm not touching any buttons except back. This is a slope, so you will go down continuously, and the only way to stop yourself on the slope is B. So you have to hit B, by the way, if you want to stop. Now, when it comes to Weezing, I would love to see it evolve for a couple reasons. One, I think the reason why we have these regional variants and stuff is for power creep. I do think more times than not, a version of a Pokemon that is newer is going to be better. There's more signature abilities, more signature moves. We see this a lot with Generation 7, honestly. With Queenly Majesty, all these new moves, Spirit Shackle, Darkest Lariat, Sparkling Aria, in that generation that are signature. And this is a Machoke. I don't think Machamp's on this route, but we do see Machoke. So in terms of Galarian Weezing, it's basically 90% the upgrade. Yes, it does have more weaknesses, but it's not even that many more because it's just given the Fairy typing. And we already know Fairy is one of the best types in the game. Its weaknesses then become Psychic and Steel, and it becomes neutral damage against poison, which is not a weakness. Now, they also did give it neutralizing gas. For the longest time since Gen 3, Weezing was a Levitate Pokemon. That was it. Now, we got Primate. Alright, let's Psychic you. Now, you know, it can have neutralizing gas, or even I think the hidden ability Stench, which you're never going to see. You're going to want to have an immunity, or you're going to want to cancel out all abilities. Starmie goes level 33. Nice. But in terms of... Let's go down the left side first. Anything else we're missing? We are you. Nope. Okay, we gotta hit B. There we go. But I want to see Weezing, Kanto Weezing evolve. It doesn't have to gain a new typing, but this would mean Cantonian Weezing would be able to use, speaking of Weezing, it would be able to use the Eviolite, or the Eviolite item, which would boost the Pokemon's defenses by 50% if it can evolve further. I think this would be great on a Pokemon like Weezing, and I don't think it'd be too overpowered. Weezing has a base defense of 120. That being 50% higher would just make it even better, especially only having one weakness. You can run Levitate, or you could of course run Pain Split on it too. It doesn't have the best form of recovery, and I think that's what kind of balances it out and could make it stand out as a Weezing, or Galarian Weezing, or Weezing's evolved form. And honestly, I'm not gonna show a picture of it. I don't know who the artist is, but you can look up choking, like you're choking, CHOKING, I believe. And that is an incredible idea for an evolution, because you're coughing, you're wheezing, you're choking. I honestly think that is probably one of the best ideas for a Weezing evolution I've ever seen. I think they should do that as of last generation. I don't want these Pokemon now. I think giving Pokemon regional forms the original Mega Evolution is a way to solve that. By the way, a Muck. And also, by the way, this is not the first Muck that we've seen off screen. We fought a Muck between Lavender and Saffron. It was like level 23. So, very interesting Pokemon. But as you see, though, a Psychic type absolutely runs this route. I don't think there's anyone there in the middle. But yeah, if we could get an evolution for a reason, like, I don't want to see another Mega Pokemon like we got from Mega Starmie. Weezing needs a regular evolution. In terms, now, Muck even, I feel like it's a little outclassed because a Alolan Muck is a better typing. It's got a fun ability for VGC. It's an incredible Pokemon that regular Muck can't really hold a candle against to some regards. And Starmie grows to level 34, 100 hit points, 99 speed, 77 defense. Not bad. Another Mankey. I do think we'll go ahead and switch out for someone else here soon. The Starmie's now getting a decent bit of experience here. And like I said, we'll definitely be using it here soon as well. In the upcoming gym battle. Which I do think, you'll see why I'm having to make this distinguishment here. I think we'll go for Fuchsia first instead of Saffron. Alright, let's just use our last Psychic. We're about to switch out anyway. There we go, and a critical hit to boot. Starmie is definitely proving its worth. Whew, good workout. Alright, we switched out for our Nidoking. Hopefully we got some more Pokemon trainers here. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to Weezing. I think it's a great Pokemon. You guys even know Chucky will use one on his Crystal Let's Play. But it's just another Weezing. I just think Generation 1 Weezing is not the best. I mean, it explodes, it gets sludge. It might still get Thunderbolt in this game. So I mean, if you want to use your Thunderbolt TM on it, you can. Unfortunately, we don't have a ground type move yet. Smog, it's gonna do 1 damage. Yeah. It's a weak attack with a quad resist. There we go, it's a 3-shot. And Muck. And down goes Muck. Honestly, you guys probably expect me to say this at some point. I want Typhlosion to get a Mega Evolution. I'm a little salty that we got an item here. Mandela Effect, it might be in Crystal. Yeah. Probably just a Mandela Effect, but I do think you gave Meganium and Feraligatr Megas. And I was ecstatic to see Typhlosion get a regional form. Fire and Ghost type. Ghost is actually my 3rd favorite type, fun fact. But I do want Typhlosion to get a Mega. I don't know what typing it should be though. Honestly, it'd be cool if it was like Fire Ice, but I kind of doubt that would happen. It would have to be some crazy left field occurrence that we don't know about. Like, I don't know, Freezer Burn. King goes over 33, and we have another Weezing. Thankfully, we haven't seen no Weezing blow up yet, so that's great to know. It should have self-destruct at this point. The Smog. That's the funny thing about Weezing. So many of its moves start with S. So on like slow text speed, you see an S, you probably clench your butthole like hit. There's Smog, Smoke Screen, Sludge, Self-Destruct. At this level though, between the stat differences, I don't think a coughing self-destruct would hurt too much. Yeah, we're still seeing tackle. 16 episodes in and we're still seeing tackle attacks. Kinda want to get up to level 34 34, and then we'll switch out to Pikachu. And there we go. Weezing, okay, not Weezing, Nidoking hit level 34. Alright, we went back up to the top of the route. Let Voltorb electrify you. Oh, you're not even a poison type or a fighting type. So it's gonna be an electric type showdown. And Voltorb self-destructed. I feel so bad for you, Pikachu. Let's go with Weeping Bell. I was not expecting the self-destruct, honestly. We missed the submission. They went for 2 Sonic Booms, and then they went for self-destruct. And they use self-destruct too! Isn't this your last Pokemon? Remember, it cuts your defense in half. So, even though Voltorb and Electro don't have much physical attack, it still does good damage. Alright, let's try this again. Good thing we bought those revives. My Pokemon won't evolve. Why? Now this is actually a smart placement right here. If you did the trade with the Cubone earlier, you'll know exactly why. Cubo has 1 Pokemon, Machoke, level 33. He needs to trade his Machoke to evolve. We've already seen that happen. Low Kick and they missed their fighting type move. You see what I mean? I think I mentioned it before. Fighting types, they got the short end of the stick despite actually having legit use in this game. That being, of course, normal types. Alright, do I have any more trainers? I'm sure there is, like at least 1 more. Do you have Minkies? Or do you have Coffees? You have 2 Pokemon, and it is Primeape. Alright, Primeape goes bananas against our Pikachu or Thunderbolt it. This should be a 2-shot. Kinda wish we could have like a light ball. Oh, yeah, crit though. I'll take it. That's almost like a light ball, pretty much. And Machoke, level 29. Won't evolve either, I bet. And Karate Chop, not stab. But still doing half health damage. Half health, I mean. Because Karate Chop's one of those high crit moves. Drinking me some sweet tea. If you hear that, I apologize. Oh, you're not a pirate. Alright, do we have any more trainers? We can't pause, so if we see one, it'll time our reflexes. Or not. That is actually it. Yeah, there's nothing else right here, so that is the bike path. Or, I don't remember what it's actually called. It's like, what's it called? Cycling road. No pedestrians permitted. You have to go down here. Alright, that's everybody there taken care of. Got some good experience. Got to show off on Starmie in its debut episode. I'm looking for Tangela, the only pure grass type of Generation 1. I want to trade one for Parasect. I don't think we've had the chance to capture Tangela yet. But we have had the chance to capture Paris. This ain't really a worthwhile trade. Especially since Tangela, in a way, is better than Parasect. Alright, these guys down here would be great for training for Pikachu. I would take them out real quick. Pikachu goes to level 35. And that's 1 trainer down. That's 2 trainers down. You see, they're bird keepers, so an electric type or an ice type would be great here. Or an ice type move, that is, on your water type Pokemon. And that does it. He had a Dodrio. Won't be enough for a level up, but Pikachu is almost caught up with Charizard. And with that, first of all, we never have to go back to Cycling Road. And second, welcome to Fuchsia City, home of our next gym battle. And another very interesting spot that we'll take care of next episode. Not much to really see here. Here's the Pokemon Center and the gym. Alright, we'll do a little look around here. Over here. Now, we already actually know, wrong spot. We'll be back here later. That is for sure. It's this house I'm going to first. I'm the fishing guru's older brother. I simply love fishing. Do you like to fish? We'll say yes. Grand, I like your style. Take this and fish, young one. Fire received a good rod. This is the middle rod. It's better than the old rod, but not as good as the super rod. I don't fully understand why you can get those two in the order, but with the super rod, you don't really need the good rod. Now, do we have cut on us? We do. You don't need to have cut to get around, but you can use it if you want to. The trio hacked away with cut. Fuchsia City is a spot that actually has a bunch of rare Pokemon in it and around it. Right here, for example, name Lapras, aka the King of the Seas. Lapras is the transport Pokemon. We actually haven't seen one yet. Wonder why. There's some more cut bushes over there, but over here though, in an odd spot of town, is the Pokemon. We'll come on in here. We have just over 100,000, but this is where you can get Ultra Balls and Full Heals if you haven't been to Saffron yet. You can also get your Super Repels, some more Revives. Honestly, this is probably the best Pokemon, Pokemon. It's got Revives, Full Heals, Super Repels, which is the most cost-effective repel in the game. 200 steps for 500 versus what you'll see eventually, the max repel being 250 for I think $700. I always recommend getting Super Repels. It's got, honestly, the most cost-effective, best item in the game for healing, being the Hyper Potion. If I haven't said it already, it heals for 200 hit points. You probably won't have a Pokemon with 200 hit points on the course of this main journey, unless you start grinding in the after game. There are two more above it, that being the Max Potion, which does all hit points, which, if you're less than 200, is just a Hyper Potion again for you. And the Full Restore, though, does HP and status, but it's also twice the price of a Hyper Potion. So you can definitely get some Full Restores, but you don't need to rely on them, because how often are you going to really heal status and hit points at the same time? That's kind of a not as rare as just needing to heal 100 hit points. And you got Great Balls for a cheap price, and the Ultra Ball, which is of course 2 times the catch rate of a Pokeball, for double the price. But I do recommend getting some of each. We won't get it yet because we're saving our money for something. You guys will probably see that in a future video. Alright. Besides that though, there's not much else. There is Kabuto here, a Pokemon that was resurrected from a fossil. This was one of the Pokemon we could have gotten at Mount Moon, but we still don't have a chance to resurrect it yet. And this is Kangaskhan, maternal Pokemon that raises its young in a pouch on its belly. Kangaskhan, the parent Pokemon. We have not seen it yet as well. And with our team all healed, there's this building right here. Safari game. Pokemon you catch. Yeah, this is the Safari Zone. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. Until then, we did a good bit today. We got through the Cycling Road, trained up our Starmie, and got here to Fuchsia City. So next time on Pokemon Yellow, we're going to take on the Safari game, or the Safari Zone. See you guys then.